Started.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, Stone, thanks for coming on the podcast today, man. I know who you are. We've known each other for a little while now. But for those who may not know, let's just get started by, explaining who you are and what you do.
For sure. Yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on. Been a little bit since we've talked. The way we met was pretty cool, and it's been cool to see your growth. But we'll touch base on that here in a little bit. So yeah, based out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, 25 years old, owner of Gutters OK. We are a seamless guttering company. We also do exterior work like siding, fascia, paint, all that stuff, but really just honed in specifically on gutters. Um, this is year number 4 starting out in business. It's been nothing but a blessing. And there's been a whole lot of transition of growth, development, and adapting to the new ways of business going throughout this process. And we're much more intentional now. We've got employees, in-house employees. There's no subs. We've got 2 office ladies, 6 field guys, and I'm overseeing it all and kind of manipulating it and running things how it needs to be and kind of leading from the front and holding people accountable and building standard operating procedures and just trying to hold everyone collectively accountable.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Business is definitely it's hard, you know what I mean? It's hard.
Absolutely.
And to be a business owner, it's even harder to manage all of these people, all of these things moving around at once. So how are you managing everything right now? Like, how do you get everybody on the same page?
Yeah. So I mean, it's as simple as it, I mean, I could be anywhere and everywhere and tell everyone how to do it, or I can create these operating procedures, these systems, and these checklists uh, to hold these guys accountable without me. And when the risk is mitigated and there is still a mess up or some sort of mistake, I'm able to hold them accountable much easier because we can identify the problem, figure out what went wrong, and figure out how to fix it going forward. And that's really been the biggest thing is taking that leadership role of being a true leader, and not harping on these guys like I used to. Be like, hey, you're a fucking idiot. Why'd you do that? In all reality, they did that because they either didn't have the ability, they didn't have the information, or they didn't have the confidence.
Yeah.
So now here we are. Um, Everyone's on board. We're having our meetings. We're discussing things. We're having uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
We're we're delivering our expectations and our standards, but we're also seeking feedback on how I can do better, how we can do better in the office, how to make things more efficient for the field guys, how to drive that ultimately how to drive that customer experience through the roof. Because at the end of the day, that is the number one factor of your success.
Yeah, man, that's definitely true. One thing I can tell about you is you're always striving to be better, whether it's yourself personally or your business. Has it always been like that for you? Have you always been the type of person to want to strive for more?
Yeah, I like the way you worded that because I've always been the one to strive for more. And not so much before I started business when I graduated high school and I kind of went down the wrong path. I was always striving for more. It may not have been good more, but it was always more. I was always wanting to improve or do something better, um, even if it was on the wrong path. And thankfully I got focused and I figured out where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do and what my heart was telling me to do, and where I found true intention and passion in. And so it's it's even when starting out, I would say once I switched my mindset and focused on my personal development, and really meant my mental toughness to handle the pressure and to be able to put myself in a position to be an actual leader and not just like a sayer,
Yeah.
I guess you could say. And yeah, so it's always been in me. I'm super blessed with that ability. It's almost like a superpower because um, it takes years and years for people to figure that out. and with the traction that we've had and the success we've had, um, it's been based on my ability to adapt and overcome and consistently want to do better and be better and
Yeah.
kind of having like that. Uh, you, I don't want to say it's non-negotiable, but it's a zero failure option, or I guess we seek failure in a weird way,
Yeah.
because we learn from it, but uh, we seek to be the best around
Yeah.
and impact others to follow.
Yeah, man, definitely, definitely. Just to dig a little bit deeper on your, like what you were doing before you were doing business. Like you said, you were going down the wrong path. Could you just give me a little bit more insight on that?
Yeah, easily distracted by the exposure and instant gratification of being a young horny little guy,
Yeah.
that just wanted to do drugs and fuck bitches. And so it's as simple as that's the easiest thing to gravitate towards when you're not focused and on the right path,
Yeah.
um, because it's it's just if you don't have your discipline and your accountability and uh, your determination on focused on the right thing, you'll still uh, you'll still have those things, but incorporated towards the wrong. So yeah, it's selling drugs and thumbing through women. That's just like that was what it was because it was the easiest thing for me, and that was the easiest way to fill the void, and that I uh, got satisfaction in. There was some sort of an accomplishment there. Um, and don't get me wrong, I've I have my regrets, but in all reality, that it's what's got me here, and thankfully, I recognized it early enough to pivot and adapt and get on
Yeah.
the right track.
I'm happy that you did, man. I'm happy you ain't out there wilding out no more, you know.
For sure, yeah,
Um, so how were you able to, because that was the old you, and that was, I'm sure, a you that you lived with for a really long time. So the
yeah.
stone that I see today is not that same stone, I'm sure. How were you able to reinvent yourself, and how hard was it for you?
Yeah, that's a really good question. That's awesome. So it's quite literally you really have to surrender uh to the new path that you want to take and completely let go of everything, like absolutely everything. I mean, you have to cleanse yourself and forget about it and mentally put yourself in the position that you want to get to. You have to program yourself to uh mentally, you have to already be in that position.
Yeah,
You have to place yourself wherever you want to go. You have to place yourself there before you even get there. That's part of the execution of the vision. And that includes, even if it is just once a weekend to go out and have some drinks, you got to remove that. You got to remove the people that you're hanging around when you're doing those bad things. You got to clear your social media of what it feeds you and what you've been adapted to. um, so they say social media has algorithms, which
yeah,
they do. It catches on to what you choose to view,
yeah,
uh, and it's a direct reflection of what's going on in your head. Well, we also have our algorithms, uh, and if you don't adjust your focus, then that algorithm, the universe is going to automatically spit that algorithm back to you and feed you with what you have in your head.
yeah,
And so that's the biggest thing is the mental shift is acquiring the mental toughness and focusing consistently on personal development. And that's spiritually, financially, relationally, health and fitness. I mean, it's all aspects, and you consistently have to exercise every single one.
yeah, man. That's awesome. That's so incredible. I believe everything that you're saying. It's so real. Um, so when it comes down to you being you now, right? Like you still have to work on that. Like you didn't just change your mindset and it just changed and you were good. Like this is still an everyday
Correct.
thing for you, right?
It's all still perishable. It's all it now. It's easier to exercise
Yeah.
because I'm getting stronger. My brain's getting stronger, and everything around me is getting stronger. But it's still perishable because if I stop, I will just go right back into the old stone that I was. And there's some days that it it shows its signs of coming back, and I have to do whatever it takes to try to remove that,
Yeah. That's deep, man. That's so deep. We really are our biggest competitor, and
Yeah.
so what are you doing to get your body strong and your mind strong, and what are you doing to stay on that path?
So we've got a gym out there. I've got a home gym. Very deeply invested into the home gym. So I'm in there every single day, regardless if it's weights or cardio. And then as far as mental strength and on my brain and staying on the right path, I'm invested into coaches, masterminds, um, easily six digits invested into personal development and personal growth, but also reading books and switching up my social media algorithm so it's not just spitting bullshit to me. It's like there's informational videos nonstop now,
Yeah.
weightlifting videos, business. I mean, whatever it is, meal planning, uh, switching up what you consume in an overall standpoint. Because and even my consumption of food, I dialed in my diet and I immediately saw huge results. So
So, talk to me a little bit about that, like your diet. What are you doing?
yeah, so before it was very gray. There was no black and white. It wasn't. It was almost. It's really overwhelming to a point if you're on the wrong path of consumption of food. If
Yeah.
you're not strict with and disciplined with what your body really needs to consume, because obviously everyone's body is different and it reacts to certain things. But I went and well, I tried to, I got a couple coaches and I was on a meal plan that they kind of tailored to me and da 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 da. But it still wasn't, it helped, but it didn't seem intentional. It
Yeah.
didn't seem like it, it was kind of just a little vague. So I joined a group and got coached by a guy and they started me out on a oral gut health test
Mhm.
and I had my labs done on my gut health, and it as soon as I took the test, I started a 30-day detox and a 5-day cleanse,
Okay.
and kidney, liver, microbiome, complete, detox, and then results got back. It was a 46-page PDF, basically the dashboard of how your body reacts to certain things, what's it need more than others, and where is it already sufficient at. And that was a huge eye opener. I got that on Christmas Eve. I think I got my test back, and I was just like, I remember reading it all dang near all day on Christmas, and that basically that whole week just going back and forth, and everything just made sense. It was like, wow, like I knew this without knowing it, but the clarity in it, and helping me get on the right path. So basically, I took all that I upgraded Chat GPT and I threw that PDF in there and I said, spit me a health, um, a workout plan, and give me what I need. And it gave me the supplements and everything. And just that right there in the last 2 months has just been game changer.
That's awesome, man. I bet you
Yeah.
feel so much better. You're able
Oh
to
yeah.
business, you're able to be with your family more, just from feeling
100%.
better, right?
Yeah. Mood, focus, cognitive function. Yeah. Everything.
Yeah, that's sweet, dude. That's really good to see you just growing and becoming better more and more. That's what I love about just meeting people like yourself is, once you meet people that's like us, business people, and you start following them, you get to really see the growth and see how much people change just because they're willing to. And that's the biggest thing. Are you willing to change?
The progress in their process.
Yeah,
It's
man. It's
and that's
inspiring.
that's that's one thing I've admired about you, man, because you're in a position now like I don't think when I met you that you would have ever been able to even think about starting a podcast and
Yeah,
be able to have these conversations face to face. Like I could tell, like even just on our calls, that you were facing things in so much uncertainty,
yeah,
and just to see you're out of your comfort zone. You're
yeah.
enjoying uncomfortable things, and you're embracing change, and like it's amazing, man. I love to see it.
Thank you, man. I'll tell you what, me like just for those who don't know, anybody watching, me and Stone met through a mentor named Tom Kroll. Um, Tom is a very important person. He's very special to me. And when I first started doing these calls, it was just me and Stone on a call with Tom, and it was very confusing at that point in my life. And I feel like it's still confusing, but I've just totally opened up, man. I've
Yeah.
realized the way out is out of my comfort zone.
And he created that course for guys just like me and you,
Yeah,
that maybe weren't equipped to be in his bigger online coaching
yeah,
course. And although there may be a little couple empty promises here and there or whatever, but the results that he was the results that he was able to deliver to us, or I guess the methods he was able to
yeah,
deliver to us to drive the results that we needed at it, which was critical at that part of time in our tenure of business and whatever. Uh, it now looking back with everything else I've invested in and everything I've learned just in this short amount of time, it all correlates. It's all the same thing.
yeah.
Everyone's saying the same thing. And the more we go, the more we figure out like it's us. It's right in here. It's our intentions. It's our mindset. It's what we focus on.
Yeah, man. So true, so true. And I've been watching you post, and it seems like, and I know your gutter's okay all day. I understand that, but it seems like you are moving a little bit toward the health aspect of things. Are you going to help
Correct.
people with that?
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal is to, um, I love gutters. I do because that's all I've known, and that's been my route to success here recently. But we're just getting started, and the more I develop, and the more opportunities that keep coming my way, it shifts my vision, and it raises the standard and the bar of how I want to provide value to others. And um, in order to so basically every compartment of life is reliant on your health and fitness. That's just you are nothing without yourself. But that's also like not only in the gut but in the brain. And so we're um, looking to provide value and give people that kick in the butt or that recognition or whatever it is to help drive them results and get them out of the loophole of being content and comfortable and repenting all things that may drive them to success.
Yeah.
uh, and that's really the biggest thing is I want to bring people help bring people results, uh, just by providing the knowledge and the wisdom that I was able to accumulate.
Love it, man. That's so good. Um, so when it comes down to something like, let's say I'm out here, I'm confused. Let's say I'm losing my mind. My body is just so out of it, and I'm confused, right? What's the advice you could give to me to try to at least start on the better path?
Yeah, so um it's really getting over that procrastination and the overwhelmment of even taking that first step.
Yeah,
That's the biggest thing for everyone. Probably 80% of people, it's that first initiating step. So now that I'm looking back on it, instead of you know opening up a door and be like, that's not it. Opening up the next door, oh, that's not it. It would be to go get your blood work and your gut health done. For males, especially for males, and business owners like you and I that rely on their energy levels and stuff
yeah,
to continue going and working hard. A majority of them are low testosterone.
Yeah.
That's going to be like your main driver. And what people don't understand is the way the system's set up. It's designed to lower your testosterone levels by the consumption of foods and drinks that they want you to consume. You know, the whole pharma and the health thing, like it's designed to keep you down and sick.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother rabbit hole we can get down in another Zoom or whatever. But so figuring out your speaking for males, I'm females. That's a whole nother world. I don't know anything
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that. So I'm speaking to males directly right here. Is figure out your testosterone levels, your gut health. Those two right there is get your blood work, figure out your testosterone levels, and figure out your gut health, your microbiome, and what your body needs to perform at the highest level possible. And that's going to set you straight and on track to, you know, avoid the procrastination and the overwhelmment. And then it's as simple as, 25 push-ups and a mile walk a day. Just get active, just get in that mindset.
Yeah.
And the more you discipline yourself to that standard that you set, that hey, I have to get my heart rate up every day, or I have to do something active every single day, you'll start to get more confidence, and you'll start to seek that uncomfortable feeling of how hard it is, and it'll slowly start to get easier. And
Yeah.
then your standards will start to raise, and you'll start to want to push yourself to new limits, and you'll start to explore new things about yourself that you never even knew you incorporated. And it's a snowball effect. It's momentum. It's
Yeah.
frequency. It's driving all those things through the roof that continue on, because momentum is a real thing, and
Yeah.
your energy and your frequency is a real thing. And so the more it, how I would put it is, the more selfish you become, the better you will get.
Yeah.
Until you're in a position to provide abundance and be selfless with everything that you have to be selfish and hone in on yourself and cut out all distractions that do not benefit what you're trying to do in life, that don't align with your vision and your purpose.
Oh man, I'm so happy we're having this conversation.
Fire.
Yeah, this is my favorite things to talk about.
I can talk about it all day, every day.
Yeah, cause that's the thing. Like you got to build that momentum, right? Like this is not going to happen overnight. You're going to go through just like if you smoke cigarettes or you drink beer every day, you're going to go through pains when you stop doing these things that your body
Mm-hmm.
habits, right? And when you recreate these new habits, you're going to have resistance. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
how can they fight that resistance?
Yeah, I mean, things are going to get harder before they get easier. There's no doubt about it. But fighting that resistance it aligns with the new standard that you set. You're sick and tired of being in a position that you've been in, and there's only one way out of it, and that's breaking through. That's doing something challenging and embracing the hard stuff to get your mindset out of what it was before. And if you'll feel more support if you start listening to podcasts, or start reading the right books, or watching the right content that helps motivate you, because it's all about incorporating the mental toughness,
Yeah.
because ultimately that's going to help. That will mitigate all resistance, because it's you in control. So the more that you work on mental toughness, in all areas of the brain, the easier it is to fight that resistance, and continually better yourself.
Yeah, man, that's great. So, going off of the brain, we're talking a lot about the brain. We talked about the body. So, as far as the brain goes, what do you do any meditation or anything like that?
I don't. I actually had a really good 3 hour conversation last night with a buddy that came and worked out with me, and that's going to be incorporated soon. But what people also don't understand is the gut and the brain are tied together.
Yep.
That's and you hear like, oh, that's a gutsy move, or I can feel it in my gut, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they are tied together. So what you consume and what you may allow exposure into your microbiome really does depict on how focused you are in your brain, and if
Yeah.
if you're going the way. There's an amazing documentary on Netflix that I've watched a couple times now. It's called Hack Your Health. I would
Okay.
highly recommend it. And then for me, a game changer that's just completely changed the trajectory of my success in early stages of business was the Real AF podcast by Andy Frisella.
Okay.
Um, totally would check it out. That is that right there. He's also got a book called The Book on Mental Toughness. Um, it's a game changer. But once you start investing into those things, the universe will start throwing new things at you that you'll slowly start to chase and want to go after. And that's how it's going to lead you down the correct path.
Yeah, man. See, I'll be honest, dude. I didn't know how spiritual you were. You know what I mean? I love
Yeah.
it. That's so
Yeah.
great. Um, when it comes down to people like, okay, no, wait, you got a podcast that you just started, right? Is this what this
Correct.
is about? Is it?
Yeah. So it has to it does have to do it's the main goal is to provide an abundance of value, influence, impact, and knowledge. Regardless if that's through health and fitness, business, and overall health, lifestyle, through our personal experiences, encounters, and all that. So it's going to touch base. I mean, it's a little bit of everything. Uh, it's it can be whatever it wants to be. It's not business specific. It's not health and fitness specific. It's overall personal development.
Awesome. I can't wait to tune into it, man. I seen that you
Yeah.
started that you got started and I assume that you're gonna go just as hard into it as you do everything
Mm-hmm.
else. So that's gonna be fun to watch grow. It looks like we're running out of time, but before we head off of here, if somebody has a question about, business or health or just they want to talk to you, how can they do that?
Stone Shoe on Facebook, man. And I'll even drop my personal number. That's 918-600-7722. It's free. Everything's free. I'm here to give it all away. I've got nothing to hide. And what worked for me may not work for others, but uh, it'll resonate with everyone if they're willing to embrace that and seek the change that is necessary in their lives. Because especially being a man, it's a little overwhelming of the pressure that you have on your shoulders to try to provide, protect, nurture,
Yeah.
and build. And it can all feel like it's coming down at any point. And I've been there, I've been through it, and there was only one way out, and that was shifting my mindset up here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, reach out. I'm here.
Awesome, man. I appreciate your time. If you could leave these people with one final thing, it could be business, health, personal, just one final thing to leave them with, what would it be?
I spoke on this the other day. It would be give more than you take, and incorporate perishable traits within you like discipline, accountability, consistency, fortitude, grit, perseverance. That right there, because that's what's going to be. Eventually, that's going to go down the line to be able to help others.
Awesome. I appreciate you, Stone. Hopefully, we can keep doing this and I can have you come on
Absolutely,
every once in a while to talk health, business, life.
for
Uh,
sure.
yeah, man, I thank you for coming on and I appreciate your time.
Absolutely, brother. It's good to see you, Travis.